In A Clash of Kings, Daenerys was visited by three figures while taking refuge at the forgotten city in the east, Vaes Tolorro: Zarozondoxis, Pyat Pree, and Quaithe, the masked woman. The pale man with the blue lips replied in guttural Dothraki, "I am Pyat Pree, the great warlock." The bald man with the jewels in his nose answered in the Valyrian of the Free Cities, "I am Zarozondoxis of the 13, a merchant prince of Qarth." The woman in the lacquered mask said in the common tongue of the Seven Kingdoms, "I am Quaithe of the Shadow. We come seeking dragons." Zaro offered to host Daenerys at his home while she was in Qarth. He promised her that she would have gardens and slaves to tend her needs. Pyat Pree had vowed to petition the Undying Ones for audience with Daenerys, and gave her an ointment that he said would allow her to see the spirits of air. Quaithe, however, offered Daenerys only a warning. "Beware of all. They shall come day and night to see the wonder that has been born again into the world, and when they see they shall lust, for dragons are fire made flesh, and fire is power." Later in A Clash of Kings, Quaithe urges Daenerys to flee Qarth, warning her that if she stayed for much longer, she would not be permitted to leave the ancient city. Dany's wrist still tingled where Quaithe had touched her. "Where would you have me go?" she asked. "To go north you must journey south. To reach the west you must go east. To go forward you must go back, and to touch the light you must pass beneath the shadow." Asshai, Dany thought. She would have me go to Asshai? "Will the Asshai give me an army?" she demanded. "Will there be gold for me in Asshai? Will there be ships? What is there in Asshai that I will not find in Qarth?" "Truth," said the woman in the mask, and bowing, she faded back into the crowd. We see Quaithe next in A Storm of Swords, in what first appears to be a dream. "They sleep," a woman said. "They all sleep." The voice was very close. "Even dragons must sleep." She is standing over me. "Who's there?" Dany peered into the darkness. She thought she could see a shadow, the faintest outline of a shape. "What do you want of me?" "Remember, to go north you must go south. To reach the west you must go east. To go forward you must go back, and to touch the light you must pass beneath the shadow." But Quaithe makes it clear that it was not a dream. Later in A Dance with Dragons, when she appears yet again to Daenerys, atop a great pyramid of marine. A soft rustle made her open them again. She sat up with a soft splash. "Missandei," she called. "Iri, Jikwi?" "They sleep," came the answer. A woman stood under the persimmon tree, clad in a hooded robe that brushed the grass. Beneath the hood, her face seemed hard and shiny. She is wearing a mask, Dany knew. A wooden mask, finished in red, dark lacquer. "Quaithe? Am I dreaming?" She pinched her ear and winced at the pain. "I dreamt of you on Balerion when we first came to Astapor." "You did not dream, then or now." "What are you doing here? How did you get past my guards?" "I came another way. Your guards never saw me." "If I call out, they will kill you." "They will swear to you that I am not here." "Are you here?" "No." "Hear me, Daenerys Targaryen. The glass candles are burning. Soon comes the pale mare, and after her the others, Kraken and Dark Flame, Lion and Griffin, the Sun's Son and the Mummer's Dragon. Trust none of them. Remember the Undying. Beware the perfumed seneschal." Quaithe appears to Daenerys one final time, whilst Daenerys is lost within the Dothraki Sea. She dreamed, and all her cares fell away from her, and all her pains as well, and she seemed to float upward into the sky. She was flying once again, spinning, laughing, dancing, as the stars wheeled around her and whispered secrets into her ear. "To go north you must journey south. To reach the west you must go east. To go forward you must go back. To touch the light you must pass beneath the shadow." "Quaithe?" Dany called. "Where are you, Quaithe?" Then she saw. Her mask is made of starlight. "Remember who you are, Daenerys," the stars whispered in a woman's voice. The dragons know. Do you? So why is Quaithe warning Daenerys? The likely option is that she must have some interest in Daenerys' well-being, wishing to guide her and keep her out of harm's way. If Quaithe had wanted Daenerys dead, she has had plenty of opportunities to do so. Instead, she has gone out of her way to warn Daenerys about possible threats. It could be, however, that Quaithe does not have Daenerys' best interest in mind. There is a possibility that Quaithe is merely keeping Daenerys out of harm's way for now, so that she can extract whatever she requires from Daenerys at a time and place more suitable for her. Could this place be Asshai? Quaithe introduces herself as Quaithe of the Shadow. Daenerys takes this as meaning that Quaithe is from Asshai, the ancient black city of dubious origin far within the corners of the east. But the Shadow is a specific place, distinct from Asshai. Upriver past the walls of Asshai lie the mountains of the Morn, the heart of darkness where ash comes howling through the cliffs, keeping the river in perpetual darkness, and at the heart of this shadow, the Corpse City. Asshai is even referred to many times throughout the series as Asshai by the Shadow, making a distinction, saying that Asshai is beside the Shadow, but not of the Shadow itself. Is Quaithe telling Daenerys that she is from Asshai, or from the Shadowlands? And if she is from the Shadowlands, then who is she? What is she? It is said that only Shadowbinders who hide their face behind mask dare travel upriver into the Shadow, for within the dead dark lie beasts old and terrible. Demons and worse move amongst the shadows in the heart of darkness, and even Shadowbinders fear what lies at Tenkkay, the Corpse City, a place in Lovecraftian lore where an old god sleeps. If Quaithe is from the Shadow, then this could explain why she possesses a glass candle. It is said that it was people from the Shadow that first taught the Valyrians to tame dragons. They taught them spells and sorcery as well. The only known glass candles in our story came from Valyria to the Citadel at Old Town 1,000 years before the Doom. Of course, if the people from the Shadow taught the Valyrians to make glass candles, they would possess them as well. I suggested in my Understanding the Birth of Dragons video just over a year ago that there seemed to be two forces pulling on Daenerys through her dreams, one seeking to prevent the birth of dragons and the other seeking to cause it. Quaithe is the second force, there to facilitate the new age of the dragon. This makes Daenerys' storyline parallel the rise of Valyria even more. The people from the Shadow gave the Valyrians dragons. Quaithe caused Daenerys' dragons to be born. Quaithe is from the Shadow. The Valyrians conquered all of Old Gis and formed an empire in a matter of decades. Daenerys has conquered Astapor, Meereen, and Yunkai, and has become one of the most powerful political forces in the East in the matter of months. Both the Valyrians and Daenerys did their conquering with the help of dragons and the awe and fear they inspire. Perhaps Quaithe is only masquerading as a Shadowbinder. Perhaps she is something more, a representative of some greater entity from deep within the Shadow, an entity that has an interest in dragons. Dragons are living fire made flesh, not dissimilar to the way that the others are living ice. This dichotomy supports the idea that the Song of Ice and Fire is a game with multiple moving pieces spanning out over millennia. First, the rise of the others and their fall, then the rise of the dragons and their fall. Now both players have re-entered the playing field. Evidence shows that the others had been active for at least decades before the opening of A Game of Thrones. Craster had been sacrificing his sons to them and has many fully grown daughters. This would seem to indicate that the others, representing the side of ice, have had a head start. The dragons are just being born, whilst the others have already amassed a great army. But who is to say that the side of fire had not already been trying to produce dragons? Aegon V grew increasingly obsessed with dragons in his final years. No one knows why, only that it ended in the tragedy at Summerhall, where 7 dragon eggs were brought to honor 7 gods, but only hell followed. What caused Aegon's obsession? Perhaps the same thing that caused the Mad King's obsession, or even Daenerys' obsession. Dany's dragons are simply the first success in a string of attempts to facilitate the new age of dragons. It is quite possible that Aegon and the Mad King were both visited in their dreams the same way that Daenerys was. Before he was known as the Mad King, Aerys Targaryen was described as quite ambitious, upon his coronation declaring that he would be the greatest king in the history of the Seven Kingdoms. Some had even suggested that he would be remembered as Aerys the Wise, or even Aerys the Great, but it was not to be. Through the years, his paranoia and obsession with fire grew, and in the end, he would have burned all of King's Landing to the ground, believing that he would rise up again from the ashes as a dragon. Daenerys' story would have likely ended in such tragedy, if not for the unlikely series of events that led to the birth of her dragons, far too unlikely to be unguided. Could Quaithe have been present in the time of Aerys and Aegon as well, and simply failed? Or perhaps there was some other agent of the shadow? Games follow patterns. Recognizing these patterns leads to an understanding of the rules of the game. The pawns in the world of ice and fire only glimpse the world through brief windows of time, while the patterns only reveal themselves over eons. It would then follow that only one who could glimpse eons of time in one instance could accurately see these patterns. And what would these patterns reveal to such a person? To see the grand strokes of time is to realize the full impact of actions and their consequences, in a way that one with a limited view could never truly comprehend or understand. Whether Quaithe is the original agent or a more adequate replacement is unknown. What is known, however, is that Quaithe sees time in ways that others do not. She knows truths that others have yet to glimpse. In that way, she is similar to Bloodraven, although they play for competing teams. In the end, which is truly better? Fire or ice? Consumption or preservation? Neither in itself is necessarily good or evil. A world of ice is a frozen world, unmoving, unchanging. A world of fire is an ashen world, chaotic and furious but ever moving. Perhaps the grand game is all that matters. The perpetual clashing of ice and fire, ever struggling, maintaining balance.